Ajin Demi-Human is a manga series that is written and illustrated, and I'm sorry if I don't pronounce this right, Gamon Sakurai. The manga consists of 9 volumes, and it is still going, but it started in 2012. Okay, and then I want to mention the anime series that was picked up by Polygon Pictures, and Netflix has it streaming. There are 13 episodes, and that ran from January 16th, 2016 to December 24th, 2016. Okay, so let's get on to the basic premise. So the story is, it follows a character named Kei Nagai, and he is a high school student, and so his life was pretty much normal until one day he got hit by a truck, and they found out that, and he found out himself that he is an Ajin. And what an Ajin is pretty much an immortal being. And because they are immortal beings, the government, they want to pick them up and experiment on them. So because of that, Kay, he goes on a run. Of course, he doesn't want that. I mean, I don't know who would. But, so like I said, pretty much the government wants to collect these Ajin and do, inhumane experimentation on them. And, of course, they, to the public, they tell them that, they're helping the Ajin. And really, they're not. And not only does the government want him and the other Ajin for their own needs, there is also another character called Sato who wants him for his own needs as well. So not only is he being chased by the government, but he's being chased by another Ajin.
Okay, so we just got done watching Ajin Demi-Human for the second time. Season 1.
Yeah, season 1.
And so do you want to start with what you liked about it?
Okay, well, first off, before we do anything, I want to say that I came across this, and, I suggested him. I said, I think I might want to watch this. You want to watch with me? So, pretty much my first impression of not even watching it, the art style, the animation of the show, it kind of threw me off a little bit, but it sounded so good. So I wanted to give it a try because I'm not like a big fan of this type of animation. It kind of reminds me of I don't know, some of those kids shows, like some of the what am I thinking of? Transformers?
Yeah, there's a lot of Transformer shows like that. Yeah, I was never a fan of this style of animation either. So originally it was an adjustment getting over it.
Yeah, and I think I was more excited for this than him because I like things like this. Well, we both like things like this, well, I don't even know if I should say it yet, but kind of like a supernatural type.
It's not really supernatural.
It's not really supernatural. It's like
it's just anything dealing with meta-humans or things like that.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of. And I really like things like that. So I think that's originally what drew me in, because of what it's about.
Okay, so you like Ajin?
I do really.
So far.
Yes, so far
Season 1.
I do like Ajin a lot.
So what's some of your favorite things about season 1 of Ajin?
Well, one of the other things that really drew me in is the what they call black ghosts or IBMs in the show. Those the design for one and what they are really drew me into the story. So that's one thing I really actually love is how they executed what these almost separate beings pretty much like how they react to things, how they adjust to things, how they look too is really awesome. I really love that. Another thing that I really like is the main character, which is Kei Nagai. He is a very interesting character. To me, he's like a jerk, but at the same time, just a really logical person, which could sometimes lead to sort of a jerkish type thing. But it's really interesting because he's so young, and not only that, but how logical he is, how he reacts to things is almost sometimes abnormal, like as far as emotional wise, like in a human. For example, if someone is in need, most of the time people will help that person. But he's more of like, what is, he's like scoping out, well, should I help this person because what if this happened? Yeah, how will it benefit them? How will it benefit him mostly? Like, he's kind of selfish. And I think that he's just a really interesting character overall. I don't think I've really come across a selfishly logical character. We'll get into more of the things that I like, but what's something that you like? Is this even going? Okay.
I have to say, like, despite me not originally caring for the animation, I actually do like the animation.
Yeah, I do too now. Too. What? I also do as well now. Whoa.
Yeah, okay. Like I said, it took a while to get used to, but yeah, I like that it's still in a traditional anime style.
Yeah.
I will say it's not perfect,
No.
and I don't know if it's intentional or if it's just the animation isn't quite there yet.
Like
to be
the
able
budget isn't all that awesome, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Some of the body movement isn't as fluent.
Yeah, it's not as
It looks
flowing and natural.
It looks video gamey a lot of the
Yeah.
time. There's not a lot of texture, almost whatsoever.
It's
But
pretty different.
yeah, but it's like become its own like thing. I mean, I know there's probably other shows and anime that's done this style tons of times, but it's kind of like Ajin makes this style unique.
Yeah.
It's like when I see this style of animation, I think about Ajin now.
Yeah, me too.
I like the story a lot.
Yeah.
At first, as I was getting into it in the beginning, some of the stuff was kind of confusing originally.
I do agree with that.
Which some of the stuff still is confusing, but I mean, there's a second season, so I'm assuming that they're going to explain a lot more in season 2. And
Can I say something?
yeah.
Here's a disclaimer for anyone. This is a discussion of Ajin, Demi-Human, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be some spoilers in here. So just warning for anyone who has not seen the show yet and maybe want to go check it out. Just beware.
We'll try not to, give away anything major, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Another thing that I really like is, and it kind of sucks though. I don't even know if I can say it. It's not like I just so like it, but I find it very interesting that there's a moment in the story where Kei is taken in by the government, and they like experiment on him, and it is just very interesting, but really, what word am I looking for? Sometimes can be cringy, but I just find it very interesting the ways that the, I guess the surgeons or doctors, whoever they are, the people that are experimenting on him, the ways that they experiment on him are really interesting. I really don't know how to describe it, but pretty much what I'm trying to say is that in the show, it's just intriguing to me that these people are doing this to a young man, a boy, and it's almost as if they have like no regard to a person at all. It's almost like they shut down their emotions and just is able to pretty much torture someone. And it's just crazy how someone can do that. And it's just the way that they do it is what I don't want to sound like a psycho. I'm not saying that it's cool what they're doing. I'm just saying it's very interesting how they go about it.
No, I understand.
Okay. I just hope they understand.
I guess another thing that I liked was the main antagonist.
Oh, yeah.
Which, his name is Sato, where they call him the Man in the Hat or the Hat.
Yeah, he's very interesting.
Yeah, he's a very interesting character. They definitely need to explain a lot more about him. He's very mysterious right now. You don't know a whole lot about him, but he is, pretty much hell bent on his plan. I'm not gonna talk about what his plan actually is, but seeing his plan go through,
unfold,
he'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah, and it's so crazy.
And that pretty much, leads us into the conclusion of season 1, where you kind of see him starting to unfold that plan. And he's an old guy, but he's brutal. Like
and quite agile for his age.
Yeah, and he's pretty heartless, some of the things he does. But it's the kind of villain that I love, when you can give them a reason to be bad, but making an understandable reason. And I think anybody can relate to those type of
to me,
antagonists.
he seems like an antagonist to some, but a protagonist to others.
Yeah, he's basically trying to be a protagonist for the Ajin.
But he's pretty much an antagonist to any human.
Yeah. So that's a pretty interesting dynamic.
It's understandable, too. Some of his motives. It's just the way he goes about it is just, like he said, it's brutal.
Yeah. And you can also, draw parallels of, there's a little bit of maybe social commentary about, oppression. Just when people are oppressed, whether it's a specific race or a certain kind of people, they're going to, rebel and search for equality, no matter what it takes, through violence or whatever they have to do to feel like to get equal treatment.
And he does do whatever it takes.
Yeah. So was there anything that you didn't like about season 1?
I really have to think about that. This might not be something that I don't like, because it might come in season 2, but for someone, say you're watching this for the first time when it came out, and you didn't know there was going to be another season, something that I just had a bit of an issue with is the character, and I mean, you watching it yourself, you might not even remember her name, but she's quite of an important character. Her name is Izumi, and she plays kind of a big role in this story, but it's as if they don't want to say much about her. she is a character named Tosaki's, like, pretty much bodyguard slash assistant, and she's just there most of the time. And
I'm pretty sure they'll go into that.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure they will go into season 2, which
right, they kind of have
they
to.
have to, because they didn't really do it in season 1. But we're only talking about season 1. I'm saying, like, say this is my first time watching it, and I'm like,
Right.
I just finished it, and I'm like, well, what about Izumi? You know, what's going on with her? So that was just a small nitpick about that.
I don't have a lot of complaints about season 1 other than, adjusting to the animation. Um, but I guess one thing that, and I don't know, this will probably change in season 2 or 3 or however many seasons the show actually runs. I feel like because of the kind of character they made Kay, I feel like he isn't a very strong main character to me. At least not right now. The show has its most interesting points to me when Sato is on the screen.
Yes, I do agree with that.
When he's in the story. If it just focused mainly on Kay, there's not enough for me to feel like this is really interesting. Really, Sato drives most of this entire thing.
Yeah, he's a great character.
I'm pretty sure it was intended to be that way, but
seeing as Kay is like a main character.
Well, yeah, so far he is like the main character. You can't even really call him a protagonist because he does nothing protagonist-like. He's just the main character. So I don't know, maybe he will, change. There'll be some character development. I'm sure there will be, but I guess that'll be my only, issue when Sato's not on the screen. The story isn't at its peak.
Okay. One more thing is Kay has a childhood friend named Kaito, and he was pretty much there for him in the beginning, kind of almost unnaturally, abnormally there for Kay, because Kay, as I mentioned before, he's pretty much a jerk, and when they were younger, he pretty much just acted as if he didn't even exist anymore. And present time, Kay is found out that he's an Ajin, and Kaito just like, unquestionably just helps him in every single way. And in the beginning, I was like, is he for real? Like, is he really there for him? Or is he going to turn out to be like one of those fake friends where I want to turn you in for some money or something like that? But no, he actually helps him despite of what Kay has done to him in the past. And it's just a sign of like, really good positivity in people. And something I didn't like is that after Kay, and it's probably because there's just too much story, but after Kay had decided that he wanted to leave where they were hiding out, Kaito does not even appear in the story at all after that. And this was all in the very beginning. And I'm hoping, they've got to bring him back in season 2, you would think or hope, but I hope that they do. But it's just as if he's just disappeared and he was just a plot device. That's what it felt like to me. It's not a huge problem to me because there's so much other stuff in the story and I understand. But I actually liked Kaito as a character. He was a really positive character in the story. And trust me, there is a lot of negativity. So he kind of was like a little bit of light in the story.
Okay, so would you recommend Ajin, and who would you recommend it to?
I definitely do recommend Ajin. I really do enjoy the story a whole lot. I really do. I would recommend it to anyone who likes suspense, anyone who's into like, scary stuff or horror stuff, even mystery, thriller. I recommend it to anyone who just likes a good story. Anyone who's like into that like meta-human type thing. I really do think that really a lot of different fans of different things could enjoy this story.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I think that any anime fan I think can enjoy
Oh
this
yeah.
show so far, but honestly, I do think that the animation is going to turn
A lot
a
of
lot of
people
people
off.
off of
Yeah.
it. Just because if you're used to seeing anime, it's just gonna be so different, so jarring from what you're used to. So, that's gonna be there. But once you get past that and you're used to it, I think you'll have a good time with season one of Ajin. And when we watch season two, which
We will
just
be back.
yep. So we'd like to thank you all for watching this review. If you liked it,
Discussion.
this review slash discussion.
Uh-huh.
If you liked it, leave a thumbs up, comment below, and all right, we'll be back next time with.
Much more.
We'll be back next time with
Much more.
much more.
I didn't know what you